Okay, good afternoon again, class. Today we're going to discuss yung uh, start ng topics for the second exam. Okay, so this is chapter 5. Wait, di ko sure. Tingnan natin. Okay, this is chapter 5 tama. This is chapter 5 of the book, Digital Abstraction. Alright. Sige. Digital Abstraction. Okay. For this topic, lilipat tayo from analog to digital signals. Okay, ano ba yung analog? Ano ba yung digital signals? Yung analog signals natin would be signals that are continuous. Okay? So yung ibig sabihin ng continuous yung values niya. Pwede siya maging 0, pwede siya maging 1, pwede siya maging 0.5, 2.5, and so on and so forth. Okay? So all the values are possible. Sa digital naman, however, digital signals, meron lang tayong dalawang value which is yung 0 and 1 mo. Okay? It can either be high or low, anything that's binary, no? Okay, true or false, etc., etc. Okay, so we assign a specific value for from this example, if your voltage is below 2.5 volts, inassign natin siya to become 0. And then if it's above 2.5 volts, then it's 1. Okay? Alright. Anong maganda sa pagiging digital mo? Pag nag-digital signals ka na, you're now able to communicate. Okay? Kasi 0-1 lang naman binibigay mo, and you are free from noise. Okay? So pag binigay sa'yo 0, alam mo 0 siya. It can't be something else. If binigay sa'yo 1, meron kang 1. Okay? Okay, sa continuous, ang trade-off naman nun, ang maganda sa continuous signals mo, analog, makakapagbigay ka ng certain values na hindi makukuha ng isang digital. Siyempre, 0-1 nga lang sa digital. Siyempre, pag continuous, if say, yung unang experiment natin, kailangan natin makuha yung value ng E, di ba? 2.718. You can't do that in your digital. Well, you can do that, pero lengthy process yan. Lengthy process siya and mahirap. Okay? Sa analog, that would be straightforward. Okay. So that's it. That's it for analog versus digital. Feeling ko naman siya, straightforward and intuitive naman kung alin yung analog and alin yung digital. Okay. Ngayon, sabi ko nga, we want to use the digital signal, digital abstraction for communication. Okay. So for two devices to communicate, meron dapat tayong agreement between the two. Okay, so meron tayong static discipline na tinatawag, kung saan ay yung susundin natin para magtugma tayo, para makapag-usap tayo. Okay? Okay. So ano ba tong static discipline na to? Okay, let's try obtain this, understand this by examples. Okay, so suppose you have a sender and a receiver. Okay, so may nagko-communicate na dalawang bagay, si sender and receiver. Okay, and then napag-usapan nila, okay, voltage lang natin will be 0 to 5 volts. And that's called the 2.5 to 5 volts as your 1. And then the 0 to 2.5 would be your 0. Okay. So when sender gives out a voltage of say 2.9 volts, okay, 2.9, which is pasok sa 2.5 to 5 volts, then marireceive yun ni receiver as 1, okay, which is good. Tama naman, di ba? And then si sender naman, kapag nagbigay siya kunyari ng 0.01, understood, malalaman ni receiver na 0 yan. Okay? So may communication sila. Okay. However, paano kapag si sender nagbigay siya ng, let's say, 2.49 volts. 2.49 volts. So malapit siya dito sa 2.5 volts. And then yung machine mo natabig siya ng onte, no? Natabig ng onte. So nagkaroon ng noise. Nagkaroon ng noise. So gumalaw yung voltage niya, naging 2.51. So yung sinend ni sender, 0. Tapos pagdating kay receiver, naging 1 na siya. So there's a problem with this model. Okay? So naisip nila, parang may mali dun sa ginawa natin. Okay, ang gawin naman natin ngayon para to avoid that, to avoid that mishap, let's add a forbidden region. Okay? Lagi tayo ng, pag napunta dyan, okay na, wag na natin pansinin. Okay, so meron tayong tinatawag na VH, high, VL, low, V low, which describes the region na hindi nyo tatanggapin na voltage. Okay? Let's say this is 2 volts. Sabihin natin 2 volts ito. Let VH 3, tapos VL 2. So meron kang 1 volt na forbidden region. Okay? Okay. So, yan. Usap si sender and mag-uusap si sender and then sorry dito. Sorry. Si receiver, sorry. Biglag ako dun bigla. Okay. Bigay si sender ng let's say 3.5. Okay, easily malalaman ng receiver that is your high response, which is 1. And then kapag si sender naman nagbigay siya ulit ng let's say 2 volts. Okay, alam niya agad yun na alam niya agad yun na 0 yun. Okay? So mawawala na yung confusing region na 2.5. Paano pa napunta sa 2.5? Kanino siya mapupunta? Na-eliminate dito sa sistemang ganito. Okay? And then, kunyari, parang may problema pa rin ata dito. Paano kapag 3 volts yung binigay? Tapos kumidlat bigla. Tapos nagbago yung voltage supply na tong system na to. Nahigop ng onti yung voltage. Bumaba siya. Naging 2.9. Okay? Naging 2.9. So, ano mangyayari dito sa forbidden region, di ba? Para itatapon ba natin yung signal o hindi? Okay? So, parang may problema pa rin. Okay. Ngayon, ang solusyon sa ganong sistema is maglalagay ka ng noise margin. Okay, to accommodate for those external factors or noise coming from the environment. Okay. So ngayon, ang gagawin natin, for those devices na nagsisend ng communication, nagsisend ng signals, sabihin ni receiver, oy, babaan mo naman yung bibigay mo sa akin para alam ko kung na-disturb ka, para alam ko paano interpret yung signal mo. Okay? So, si sender mo ngayon, ang gagawin mo is ililimit mo siya sa certain voltages, katulad dito, yung 1 na sinasend na 1 would be from V0H to 5 volts na lang. Okay? And then you have your VIH to VOH to be your noise margin, so that kapag nagbigay lagyan natin ng values, ha? Lagyan natin ng V0H would be 4, VIH 3, VIL is 2, V0L is 1. Okay? Kunyari nagbigay si sender ng 4 volts. Okay, so that's a 1 na communication. So bigay siya ng 4 volts. Ang nangyari, kumidlat ulit. So bumaba yung voltage. Okay, and then pumasok pa rin siya sa noise margin. Then i-accept na receiver yun as 1 pa rin. Okay. Okay? So, ina-accommodate mo ngayon yung mga changes coming from your environment, yung noise margin nga na tinatawag. Okay, so this is the static discipline na tinatawag so that our devices could communicate properly. Okay? So, um, between your valid signals, which is yung 1 and 0 mo, maglalagay ka ng forbidden region and dalawang noise margins. Okay? Okay. Okay. So, yan. Okay, so may ano dito, sa libro niya may onti siyang examples, which is algebra. So, kayo na lang mag-try na. Ano lang naman, subtraction lang naman. Ang ginawa niya ay meron tayong tinatawag na formula. Meron siyang tinatawag na NM, 0, tsaka NM1, which is noise margin. Okay? Palitan natin siya. Ganito na lang. N sub M, 0. N sub M, 1. Okay? This basically means that NM0 mo would be, noise margin 1 would be this. Nakakalito yung convention niya. Kung ano pinili niya. Basta may noise margin ko, calculate mo lang. V0H minus VIH. Okay. Ano naman, straightforward lang naman. VRL V0L. Okay. Ang confusing lang dito is yung arrangement ng input-output, no? Yung II input, yung OI output. Okay. So, yung VIL tsaka VIH, sila yung magkadikit. Okay. Si VOH and VOL, sila yung magkalayo. Okay. So, yung output coming from the sender, yung input para kay receiver. Okay. Kaya sila nandun. Si output nandito. Kay sender. Alright. Okay. So, yun lang naman yung formula na nandito sa topic na to. Which is, kaya nyo naman yun sa example sa libro. Subtraction lang. Okay, now when we have 0 to 1 digital signals, ano pang magagawa? Ano pa pwede natin magawa? Okay, syempre, pag may 0 and 1 ka, pwede mo siyang ilipat sa true and false. And balik tayo ng philo, no? Logic. So may Boolean logic tayo since meron tayong 1 and 0. So we pattern 1 to be true and 0 to be false. And then if you have a variable x to be true, pwede mo silang variables na combination. Ayan, meron tayong mga and or statements. Kunyari, ito example, if x is true and y is true, then z is true. Okay, so paano mo isusulat yung sa equations? Okay, sulat mo siya as multiplication kapag and, multiplication, and plus addition kapag or. Okay, so how does this work? Sir, parang hocus-pocus naman, di ba? So, paano mapuprove tong ganitong equation? Gamit ka ng truth tables. Okay, sinabi natin that we can express yung end statement natin as multiplication. So, how does that work? Okay. So, dapat kapag x is true and y is true, saka lang magiging z is true. Okay. So, you lay down your possible values for x, which is 0 and 1. And then, partneran mo siya ng y na possible values lang din. Okay? Okay, may nag-chat. Guys, huwag kayong mag-sorry kung nawawala kayo, no? Kung mahina internet. Okay lang. Huwag kayong ma-pressure. Hindi required attendance. Okay, going back. So, ayun. I-prove lang natin to na ito legit to, no? Kasi parang hinugot siya out of thin air. So, ano yung sinabi ko? Pag true, 1. Kapag false, 0. So, lay down mo lang yung possible values na x and y, then multiply mo nga. Sabi, di ba, multiply daw natin. 0 times 0, 0. 0 times 1, 0. 1 times 0, 0. 1 times 1, 1. Okay, so that's true. Kapag nag-true lang si x and y, saka lang magiging true si z. Okay, and this is fairly straightforward kasi nag-multiply ka lang ng mga numbers. And then, for meron tayong tinatawag na not, which is yung bar. Okay? Ibig sabihin, babaliktarin mo lang yung values niya. Kung ano man siya. Okay, and then yung or natin would be stated as a plus. Okay, addition lang siya. So again, lay down lang natin yung A and B to find yung C. Okay. So walang special walang something special kaya AB. Ang gagawin mo lang, babaliktarin mo lang yung values niya. Okay, so again, layout mo lang yung values ni A, layout mo lang yung values ni B. So this is as parehas lang. I mean, yung pagle-layout ng values. Kayong bahala pero ito yung systematic way. Okay? So 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay, and then B niya nilagay. Ano yung B na bar? So babalik mo lang yung values ni B. So that is 1, 0, 1, 0. And then you add daw A plus yung B bar. So 0 plus 1, that's 1. Okay, 0 plus 0, 0. 1 plus 1, 1. Okay, so yung 1 plus 1 dito, 1 na. And then 1 plus 0, that's 1. Okay, dahil binary lang tayo, yung pwede lang natin gamiting numbers ay 0 and 1. Okay? So kahit mag-add ka ng sandamakmak na number na puro 1, that's 1 pa rin yung result niya. Okay, and then what else? Okay, so that's your Boolean logic. Okay, how do this reflect into your sa circuits natin? Kasi parang masyadong theoretical. So pwede siya meron tayo mga devices na nagko-compute nitong mga 0, 1 values mo. So meron siyang legit na material, no? Meron siyang legit na pyesa na pwede siya mag-compute ng mga ganyan. Okay, so meron tayong tinatawag na combinational gates. And then, ito ay guided by these two numbers. So meron yung output niya ay function ng inputs alone. Okay, so hindi siya pwedeng maging katulad yung dependent source natin na naalala niyo yung dependent source na dependent siya sa other parts ng circuit. Okay. So for this guys, yung dependence niya lang would be on those that are incoming. Okay, so yung input lang yung makaka-apekto sa kanya. And of course, it satisfies the static discipline na it can communicate between the receiver and the sender and the receiver. Okay, so this is how you write these combinational gates. And yung mga NAND, NOR, sila ay AND tapos lalagyan mo ng NOT. Okay, so kuwari A or B, so that's A plus B. Okay, dito yan, A, B. Then, A dot B, B. Dito yan, para sa AND. Okay. Gagawin mo, yung NOT, gagawin mo lang, okay? So, ito, nandito yan sa right-hand side, ha? Hindi lang kasha. A plus B, nandito rin yan sa output. Okay, so yung NAND would be A, B, okay? So, kung meron kang A, B, pag pinasok mo siya sa NAND na not AND na gate, lalabas sa kanya, would be this, okay? So, AND muna, tapos lagyan mo ng NOT. Okay, and then sa NOT OR, magiging AB. ang result niya would be A plus B. Or, not pala, sorry. Si buffer, wala. Wala siyang ginagawa. Pero useful pa rin siya. Okay, useful pa rin siya. Alright. So, let's try. Try natin tong AB, A or B, tapos naka-end siya sa CD. Tama, di ba? So, what I can do is, sulat mo siya systematically. Okay, i-group mo lang. Okay. So, from this alone, makikita mo na you need your end, tapos not. So, NAND, kailangan mo ng NAND. So, drawing tayo ng NAND. Yes, ba't tayo sumarad? Okay. Okay. And then, ano yung mga inputs niya? Would be yung mga nasa loob. Okay. Sa baba, CD na lang, tapos end din siya. So, that's like this. CD. Tapos, sa other side naman, OR naman siya. So, ano yung tsura ng OR? Ganun, curved. Okay. A, B. Okay. Simple as that. Ayan yung combinational gates. Okay. Dali lang, di ba? Okay. Now, gusto natin madali buhay natin. So, we want to simplify things. Tama ba? Type, gawin natin tamad yung mga sarili natin, but tamad na smart. Okay? So, wag natin pahirapan yung sarili natin. So, we must have ways to simplify these things. Mapaunti sana yung mga gates para mas madali yung drawing, and so on and so forth. So, the first thing is you try to write them as a standard sum of products representation. Okay? So, from the statement, sum ng products. And an example for that would be this guy. So, sum siya ng tatlong product. Okay? Product ng XY. Okay. XY, product ng XY. Product ng XY bar. Then, X bar Y. Okay, bakit to preferred na representation? Okay. So, gawa ka ng truth table, no? X, Y. XY. 0. Try natin. 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. And then X bar, Y bar. So that's babalik ta rin ko lang yung mga values nila. 1, 1, 0, 0. And then 1, 0, 1, 0. X yung lagyan natin boundaries. Yung X bar Y. X bar Y. X bar Y. Okay. Tapos X Y bar. X Y. Tama, di ba? Okay. So ito, calculate lang natin, and naman ito. So, kailangan 1 parehas. Tama, di ba? So, this is 0. Ito yung tinitingnan ko, no? 1, 0, 0. Okay? And then x, y bar. Dito lang siya mag-1. And then lastly, x, y. So, saan siya magpapantay? Dito lang sa dulo. Tama, di ba? Dito lang sa dulo. Okay, kuha naman to lahat. Ang maganda dito sa representation na to, pag kukumpitin mo na yung final answer, di ba? Dito ko lalagay yung final answer. Titingnan mo lang kung may 1, tapos ayun na yun. So, walang 1 dito sa unang row. Walang 1, so that's 0. Okay, may nakita ko isang 1. Isa ko 1. Okay. So, ito yung result nung truth table nung itong bagay na to. So, ang dali mag-truth table para sa kanya. Okay. Wala nang pag-iisip pag ano mo na siya, i-build mo na siya. Kasi dito sa mga, pag yung ganitong sistema, pag hindi siya nakaayos, naguguluhan tayo dahil inanat mo pa yung huling-huling result mo, di ba? Hassle, mag-iisip ka pa. So, kuwari, nakuha mo 1 sa dulo, tapos ibabalik ta rin mo pa. So, 0 dapat. Nakakalito siya. Hindi, nakakalito siya. So, you want to express them in a standard sum of products representation para mas madali buhay mo. Okay? So, ayan. Nakita natin, mas madali buhay natin. Basta may makita kang 1, okay na yun. Kasi or naman ito. Okay? Okay. Now, syempre, sabi ko nga, dapat smart na tamad tayo. So, simplifying logic expressions, meron tayong mga, mga simplifications for some expressions. Okay, some of this, medyo obvious naman, pero let's go through everything, no? A and not A. So, dapat 0 yan kasi anything na value na gagawin mo, 1, 0, tapos 0, 1. Kasi babalik-balik na rin mo lang. And that's always 0. Okay? With itself and with itself, syempre, itself pa rin yun. Okay? Itself pa rin yun. Walang mangyayari sa kanya. Hindi ko alam paano explain to, guys, kasi obvious na siya. Itong ano na lang, iba na lang, no? So, yung A tsaka 1, that's obvious pa rin. A siya lalabas, no? Buti na lang talagang hindi ako nag-math major. Kasi baka, sir, obvious po yung proof, ganun. Anyway. Okay, ito ay 1 dahil kahit anong value mo, kasi babalik ta rin mo naman siya. So, sure ka na may makukuha kang 1. Okay? So, kung 1 yung A mo, 0 to. Kung 0 yung A mo, mag-1 to. Okay? And then, sabi ko nga kanina, you add multiple of your value, ganun pa rin. 1 plus 1, ganun pa rin. 1 pa rin siya. 0 plus 0, 0. Okay, and then, ito, hindi to obvious, no? Hindi to obvious. Okay, so, ito ay para ma-prove mo sila na yan sila. Gawa ka ng truth table. Okay, so 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, and then A not. So, sige, lagay muna natin yung A mo. Kanta tayo mahirapan. 1, 1, 0, 0. And then, end down ng A not tsaka B. So, ito yung titignan ko tsaka ito. So, ito lang yung mag-1. Everything else is 0. Okay, and then A plus this guy. A plus that guy. Ano makukuha natin? Ito. Tapos addition mo dito. So pag may nakita kang 1, okay na yun. Dahil addition lang naman. So 1, 1, 1. And then let's compare that with A plus B. A plus B. So, add mo lang itong dalawa. Pag may nakita kong 1, that's okay. 0, 1, 1, 1. And this tells us that these guys are equal. Okay? Kung medyo hindi siya intuitive na equal, that's okay. You can do the truth table. Pero you can ponder about it and mapansin nyo, yes, equal na sila. By intuition din. Okay, and then distributive property works. And then commutative property works for both addition and multiplication. Tapos, you could, dito, anong property to? Basta yun, pag parenthesis mo, ganun pa rin lalabas dyan. Okay? For both addition and multiplication. Okay? So, itong last 4 is, last 5 pala. Obvious naman siya. Okay, and then, meron pa tayong extra, si De Morgan's laws. Okay, ito hindi to at all intuitive, no? Hindi to at all intuitive. So, you can do it by yourself na tingnan yung truth tables nila. And then you'll find that you can dismantle this end, not end. Okay, so pwede mo dismantle itong NAND mo into this guys. Okay? Do this. Then yung not or mo, into this. Okay? And this helps us a lot. Okay? Dahil ma-express natin yung mga bagay-bagay in terms of sum of products. Okay? Sum of products, which is nice. So we have here 3 examples. Try natin. Try natin mag-simplify ng mga bagay-bagay. Okay. Simplify natin to. Alam natin na si B and B not. So, gawin natin. Lagay mo sa parenthesis, di ba? Pwede yun. Yes. C. Okay. So, alam natin si B tsaka B not. Walang mangyayari sa kanya. Kasi, 0. So, A, 0. B, C, C. Okay. And then, pag minultiply mo 0, 0 lang din. So, wala na tayong first term. Ang matitira na lang would be B, C, plus C bar. Okay, then we can use this guy. Okay, be careful. Ang kokopyahin mo sa kabilang side yung alone. Okay, so wala kang paki dun sa katabi ng isa. Okay, so in our case, ang magiging resulta niya would be B plus C. Okay? Kinopya natin yung alone. Tapos wala tayong paki dun sa katabi ng isa, which is C. So this is the simplification that we need. Okay. So kung gagawin mo to sa kung gagawin mo sa combinational gates without simplifying, meron kang dito, or, malaking or. Tapos may tatlong nakakabit sa kanya, 1, 2, 3. So A, B, B, meron kang end. Okay. So, hassle, di ba? Lagay ka tayo ng A, B, C. So, A, kakabit siya sa dito. Tapos B, kakabit siya dito. Dalawa. Tapos lalagyan mo ng bilog kung gusto mong inot. Okay. So, ganyan siya. And then, another end here. BC naman. So, B, C. Okay. And then another one for C. Joke, wala na. Ba't ako naglagay ng end gate doon? Ay, ito na siya. However, we have to encircle that kasi naka-not siya. Okay, so encircle nyo lang pag babalik ta rin nyo siya. Okay? Kaya yung symbol for the buffer is ganyan. So basically, ganun lang din na pwede nyo lang din shortcut na ganyan. Ito pala yung nor pala, and not pala to. Tapos kasama niya lang yung symbol na buffer. Ay, ibig ko sabihin. Sorry. Okay, so ang hassle niya kapag hindi mo sinimplify, we need tatlong gates and then a lot of wires. But this guy, dalawa lang yung input mo. Wala ka nang paki sa A. Okay. So let's try another one. A, B, C, D. Okay, we have a question. Sir, ano po ulit yung property na ginamit doon sa BC plus Z bar? C bar. So dito, ang property na ginamit natin is this one. Okay? Okay, so palitan lang natin. Baka nakakalito. A is equal to C bar. Therefore, ito ay magiging C bar plus C bar equals C bar plus B. Okay? So C bar is just C. Okay, ito yung formal way na. Para lumabas to. Okay? Kuha. But then again, you can look at the patterns na yung nahihiwalay yung kasama nung may kasama. Okay? Okay. Now I will group these two into something like this. Two terms lang muna. And like that. Then I'll use De Morgan's laws here. So ano meron ako? Plus. So I could use this guy. I could use this guy. So meron kang multiplication ng dalawang bagay. So this becomes A, B. Then dotted with C plus D. Okay? And then, And then, I could further simplify. Yung A, B ko, pwede ko siyang De Morgan's laws ulit. Para maging A plus B. A naught plus B. And this is gawin ko ay yung C plus D, hihiwalay ko siya into this, guys. Okay. C plus D. So, magiging C bar. C bar. Okay? And then now I could combine them. A, C, D. Tapos, plus B, C, D. Okay? Galing, di ba? Naka-standard sum of products na siya. Which is what we want. Okay. Check ko lang yung iba. And then, meron tayong tinatawag na minimum standard sum of products representation. So, may simplification pa. Okay, may tanong. Yung BC plus C bar kanina, pwede na po ba yun para sa standard sum of products or kailangan pa talaga i-reduce? So, ito, okay. Ito yung sinasabi ko na, meron tayong tinatawag. Ito, standard sum of products na to. Okay? Standard sum of products na rin to. Pero may tinatawag na ako na minimum standard sum of products. That tells you na ito na yung most simplified way of doing it. So, ito yung minimum standard sum of haba naman pangalan, nakainis. Minimum standard sum of products. Okay? Ito na yan. Ito hindi pa siya minimum. So, you have to simplify it further. Ito minimum na to. Okay, let's try another one. Last na example na. Okay. Okay. So, lipat ko lang si A plus B sa gilid. And then I have A bar, C bar. Then I could use De Morgan's laws again to break down this guy. So this is A plus B plus A. Double bar, pero mawawala na yun kasi double bar nga. Then C. Okay? And then, simplify yung A. Dahil ito ay naka-standard sum of products na to. Standard sum na nga lang siya kasi wala ng mga products. But meron kang dalawang A, so you have to simplify that further, which becomes A plus B plus C. Okay? Yung dalawang A, mawawala lang kasi ito nga. A plus A is just A. Okay. Alright. Okay, mula nung sa simula, sabi ko nga, if you want a certain number, you can always get it from the analog signal. And then sabi ko, sa digital makukuha mo rin, but it's harder. Okay? So bakit siya harder? Okay. So meron tayong tinatawag na number representation. So meron tayong binary numbers, di ba? Binary numbers. If you combine them into an array, ito, magkakasunod sila. So A here is a binary number. It can be 0, it can be 1. Then you can represent this whole thing as numbers, yung numbers natin, decimal numbers natin into this form. Okay? So let's say, kunin natin yung 1, 1, 0 na binary. Okay, so 1, 1, 0, sub 2. Para lang na denote natin siya na binary. Then, you can get the value of this by doing this summation. Okay, so let's do the summation. Yes. Okay. So, 0. And then we have, ilang digits meron tayo? 0, 1, 2. So that's 2. Okay. And then AI 2. Okay. So let's try this. Let's start with A0. So ito ay A0, 2 raised to 0 plus A1 raised to 2 raised to 1. And then plus A2, 2 raised to 2, which is 4. Okay. Let me just write this below. So A0. 2 raised to 0 is just 1, di ba? Tapos 2 A1 plus 4 A2. Now we just have to plug in ano yung mga values ng A0, A1, and A2 mo. Okay? Magka malilito na baka ito yung magawa mong A0. Yung A0 nasa right side. Okay? So A0 is 0. Then 2 times 1. A1 mo itong middle. Then the last number would be A2. That would be 4 times 1. That means that you have 6. So this number, 110, is a representation of 6. Okay? And then how would you represent negative numbers? You can set the first digit. You can set the first digit. Actually, last digit. Actually, depende siya sa mga system mo. Means, dinedefine naman siya usually. Okay? Pwede ka mag-denote ng isang digit mo dito. Somewhere there. Pwede siyang last, pwede siyang first. Okay? To tell you that the number is positive or negative. Okay? So, usually, 0 is positive, then 1 is negative. Okay? Okay. So, kuwari, 110, tapos nilagyan mong 1. Tapos sinabi ko na yung first digit would be the sign digit. So, this is negative 6. Okay? Okay. Meron din tayong tinatawag na binary addition. You can add binary numbers. Okay, compute muna natin ano yung 1, 1. Ano yung 1, 1. So, this is magiging, ito ay A0 times 1 plus 2 times 1. Shortcut ko na. Okay. Baliktad pala. Ba't may A0? Okay, so, sige, sulat ko na. 2, A1, 2 raised to 1. So, this is 1 times 1 plus 1 times 2. Okay, so this is 3. Okay, so yung 1, 1 is 3. So, try natin mag-add ng dalawang 1, 1. Okay. Pag in-add mo yung 1, 1, okay. Ito yung mangyayari. So, mag-add ka ng 1. Pag nag-add yung dalawang 1, magiging 0 siya. Okay. Pag in-add mo yung 0 and 1, normal things happen. No? Normal things happen. 0 and 1. And 0 and 0. Pag in-add mo yung 0 and 0, 0 lang yun. However, pag in-add mo na yung dalawang 1, magiging 0 siya, tapos magkakaroon ka ng carry. Okay. 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 And then, may carry na ako ngayon. Add ko na ngayon tatlong numbers dito. 1 plus 1, 0. And then, meron ako isang carry dito. Meron ako isang carry ulit. And then, ang pangit. I-add yung, di ba, 1 plus 1 magiging 0. Tapos, 0 plus 1. So, magiging 1. And then, meron akong carry. Bababa ko na lang siya kasi wala na ako in-add. Okay? So, ito yung lalabas na sagot. No? And this is, we have computed this to be 6. Tapos yung 1, 1 is 3. So, 3 plus 3 is just 6. Okay, makes sense naman, di ba? Ano lang to, syempre, online naman tayo ngayon. Pwede nyo i-search yung ano, no? Pwede may converter sa online ng numbers. Yung pahirapan sarili nyo. Pero, ayan, for fun, kunyari na ano kayo, no? Nasa breakout rooms kayo, no? Yung real life breakout rooms, yung mga, anong tawag doon? Basta gets nyo na yun yung real life breakout rooms na may mga puzzle. Tapos kunyari wala kayong cellphone dun sa loob ng laro. Tapos may pinagawang ganito. At least alam nyo yung gagawin, di ba? Okay? Ayan. So, ayan, para yung number representation na gagawin na natin, binary lang, no? Binary lang. Hindi na natin kailangan yung hexadecimal, yung mga ganun. Okay? Dahil yung numbers lang naman natin dito, yung digits lang naman natin, is binary lang din. Okay. So, you have that for your binary number representation. Okay, ito na yung problema. Ito na yung problema. Example. So, meron tayo dito. Kung wari gusto natin mag-add ng dalawang 2-bit numbers, positive numbers, A tsaka B, composed ng A1, A0. Okay? So, you can, kung wari ito A1, A0. So, yung A mo pwede siya maging, can be 0, 0, can be of the following values, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay? So, yan. Ayun daw yung kunyari i-add natin. Then, you add it with another number, which is B. Add daw tayo ng A and B. So, how do we do that? Okay. Now, meron dalawang method sa libro. Yung first method would be brute force. Brute force yung unang method, which is to write down the truth table for the entire operation. Okay? So, gagawa ka ng truth table for A0, then A1, B1, B0, cut in yung mga 0 and 1s nila, then i-add mo, and so on and so forth. Ang hirap, mahaba siya. Pero straightforward, walang masyadong pag-iisip na gagawin. Okay? Gagawin natin ngayon would be yung second method. So, gagawin natin, gawa tayo ng 1-bit adder. Okay? Adder yung tawag sa device na nag-a-add. So, adder. And then, pagsasamahin natin yung dalawang 1-bit adder para makagawa tayo ng 2-bit adder. So, how do we imagine that? Okay, so imagination nga ganito. Okay, so first things first, i-add mo yung mga first digits. Kasi di ba, tinry natin kanina, 1, 1, 1, 1. So, ito muna yung ina-add natin. And then, meron tayong carry, which is yung C. Okay? And then, meron tayong result. Okay? So, sulat daw kasi natin yung sagot as S. Okay? So, yung unang addition would be producing S0. And the second one would be S1. And whatever's left is S2. Okay? Okay, and then yung mga carries mo would be denoted as C. Okay. So for the first adder, yung carry mo wala ka pa, di ba? 0 pa lang yung carry mo. Okay? So i-add mo si A naught tsaka B naught. So basically the first digits. So you add them, you have a result of S0. Okay? And then there might be an excess number, yung carry mo. Yung carry, mapupunta siya sa kabilang adder. Madadagdag na siya ngayon doon sa A1 and B1, which is this guys, to produce S1. And then, yung C2 mo, siya na yung magiging S2. Okay? Okay. So ito yung imagination behind the second process. So the first process is i-add mo lang lahat. Sige. Truth table mo lang siya, then you can get the result S2, S1, S0. Okay? So ito yung gawin natin. Gawin natin to. Okay. Gawin natin for arbitrary indices. So, gawin natin siyang I. So, meron tayong tatlong input actually, di ba? So, meron tayong A, meron tayong B, meron tayong C. Okay? A, B, and C inputs natin. So, therefore, we just write all the possible values in the truth table. So, for A, gawin ko to. Kalahati 0, kalahati 1. Then, 1/4 0, 1/4 1, 1/4 0, 1/4 1. And then alternate 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay. And then I build the truth table for SI. So SI would be adding these numbers. Okay, so SI would be the sum of AI and BI. So 0 plus 0 must be 0. And then 0 plus 0 must be equal to 0. Pero may carry ka. Okay? So may carry ka. So i-add mo siya dun. Okay. And then 0, 1, 0. So that's 1. Okay, 0, 1. Dapat 1 siya. Kaso meron pa akong extra carry. So dapat 1 plus 1, 0 dapat lalabas. Okay, so nag-a-add tayo ha. Nag-a-add tayo. Hindi tayo hindi tayo nag-true or false dito sa truth table natin. Okay? So, and then AI plus BI, again, 1 plus 0 is 1. And then 1 plus 0, that's 1. Tapos may carry ako. So, magiging 0 siya. And then, tuloy lang natin. Si SI ulit ay add mo lang nitong dalawa. AI, BI. So, 0 siya kasi 1 plus 1. Tapos wala namang carry. So, that's 0. And then, lastly, ito, 1 plus 1, 0. Tapos meron akong carry na 1. So, that's 1. Okay. And then, how do we compute for the CI plus 1? Ito yung may mga extra from the SI. Okay? So, balik tayo doon sa mga dalawang 1 niya yung ina-add natin. Okay? So, dito, ito yung unang instance na dalawang 1 yung ina-add natin. So, dalawang 1, that's 0, di ba? And then, meron siya dapat na i-carry over. So, that's, pupunta siya dito. Kaya ito 1. Okay? And then, the next one would be here. Okay? So, 1 plus 1, 0 ka ulit. And then, may carry kang isa. Ito rin, same thing happens. Carry. Ito, naiba lang siya kasi 1 plus 1, 0. Tapos, plus 1 ka ulit, kaya rin siya merong 1. And then, meron kang isang 1 na carry. Okay. Now, we're ready to build the formula. No? Okay, to build the formula for your SI, ang gagawin mo is i-collect mo lahat ng mga true values. So, meron ka, itong line na to, titignan natin to. Yung line na to. Sige. Underline na lang pala. This one. This one. This one. And that one. Okay? So, let's build SI. Again, titignan nyo yung mga true values. Then, punta ka dito. Okay, what you do is you try to correct all the zeros. Okay. So for the first one, yung A and B mo, 0 siya. So lalagyan mo ng not para maging true. Okay, so that's the first term. And then for the second term, si A and C will be 0. So lalagyan mo siya ng bar. Okay, and then si pangatlo, wala kang B and C. So you force it to be 1. So you have here. And then lastly, true naman dito sa lahat. So wala ka nang gagalawin. You just add them up. Okay? And then same thing happens for CI plus 1. You just collect all those true values. This is just 1. This is 1. And another one. Okay. First term, ang i-negate ko lang is A. Okay. And then for the second term, B lang yung i-negate ko. And then lastly, for the third term, dito pala last, ito lang i-negate ko, which is C. And then A, B, and C is true naman na. So nothing, you don't have to do anything else. Okay? So that's the mechanical process of doing it. Hindi ko ma-explain sa inyo bakit ayun yung process kasi it requires philosophy. So you try to, baka maguluhan kayo lalo pag in-explain ko siya kung paano ko siya naiintindihan. Okay? But regardless, you can try na. Bakit ganun? Pag ziniro ko ba, ano mangyayari? Pag ziniro ko yung mga values na to, ano mangyayari? No? So you can experiment by yourself and understand why this equation holds. Okay? Okay. One step to look at it is that meron magkakapartner dito ng mga rows. Okay? Kaya meron ka lang 4 terms and it accommodates all. It accommodates all kasi mapapansin mo na this guy is partnered with this guy. Okay? Now this one is also partnered with this one. They can be represented into one equation. This one is also counterpart ng isa. And this one is also. Okay? Okay, so magka-counterpart sila. And if you reverse the process, you can actually get the same thing. So, i-negate mo lahat si B, i-negate mo lahat yun nandito sa last term. So, A na lang yung mga bubuhay and so on. Basta you have to be consistent. In the end, mapoproduce mo yung same truth tables. Okay? So, ayun, tinuro ko lang siya mechanically. Paano gawin? And doing it mechanically always works. Okay. Ayun lang. Pero kasi minsan may mga bagay na kailangan natin ng sanity check eh. So, I want you guys to explore this by yourself. Okay? So, ayan. That ends the lesson for today. Okay. Ang maganda dito sa ginawa nating process is that sinulat na natin siya sa S sub I, no? S sub I. So, pwede kang mag-add ng kasi ang ginawa natin, 'di ba, dalawang 1-bit adder. Okay, dalawang 1-bit adder. So, pwede mo siya i-continue. Sabihin natin 8-bit adder. So, pwede mo gamitin tong formula to. Okay? Ayan. So, ayan. Okay. Ano bang important details dito? Ayan, ganun mag-add ng Ganun mag-add ng mga add ng numbers in terms of circuits. Hindi ko nilagay yung itsura ng combinational gate nito. Okay, sorry, hindi ko nilagay yung combinational gates nito. Pero ayan, with this, naman siya, madali gawin yung combinational gates nito. Okay. So I guess that's it. Parang chika-chika lang yung lesson for today. Yung mahirap lang yung mga logic, and addition. Alam mo, mahirapan tayo sa addition. Yeah, that's it. Any questions, guys? Tapos na tayo sa lesson for today. So, walang questions. Okay. Sige. Kung walang questions, again, dun sa Friday, gagawin natin, magle-lesson tayo. And then, magche-check, mag-reveal ako ng sagot sa mga prob set. Okay? Mag-reveal tayo ng sagot sa prob set para na rin maging review nyo for the exam sa Sabado. Okay. Tapos yung, syempre, again, hindi naman required attendance. Sa Friday, kung sinong gusto na mag-leave by 2:30, you can always do that. Mhm. Okay, sir, hindi po kasama yung ni-lesson nyo today. Oo, hindi to kasama. Second exam na to. Yung digital, ano. Sir, what time po pala ang exam sa Saturday? Anong oras yung gusto mong mag-exam? Ang naisip ko is 12 noon. 12 noon until secret. Sa Friday ko nire-reveal yung ano, yung kung gaano kahaba yung exam. Gusto nyo ba 12 noon? O gusto nyo 6 p.m. or 3 p.m.? Parang hirap mag-exam ng 3 p.m. Yung antok-mantok kayo nila. Okay, 12 noon or 1? May nagsabing 1 kasi para daw may lunch. Yes, tama yan. Dapat may lunch. Yung ilang hours exam, i-reveal ko on Friday. 1 hour, ganun. Ayun sabi ni Jello, 1 lang daw. 1 hour lang yung exam. Grabe, Jello. Anong gusto nyong oras mag thumbs up kayo kapag gusto nyo 12, then check mark kung gusto nyo 1. Yung green na check mark. Okay, sige. Sige, 1 p.m. tayo, 1 p.m. ang exam. Daming mag-exam sa Sabado. Yung isang class ko din mag-exam sa Sabado. A sad weekend for everyone. Ilang problems? Inisip ko kung dadagdagan ko pa yung 4. Ayun. Usual naman yung 4, pero tingnan natin. Probably 4. Kaya nyo, may calculator kayo. Madali yung buhay ngayon kasi walang coordinate system, walang probabilities, katulad sa 140. Everything is certain. Tapos algebra lang. Yung derivative nga lang natin, yung nonlinear analysis, di ba? Okay, you just have to really think about it. Sige, anything else? Anything else? Okay, kung wala na, sige, class dismiss na. Tanong nyo na lang sa Canvas. Okay, ito pala, merong for a later submission ng... Okay, nagre-request ng later submission ng problem set 3. Bakit? Sige, bakit? Siyempre, dapat may rason, di ba? Di ba, arbitrary mga bagay-bagay. Anong requirements ginagawa niyo? Anong subject niyo? May 199 pala kayo. May 199 kayo, no, kay Sir Roy? Tama ba? Nagpa-attendance pa ako dun sa Mags and Cups. Pinapa-attend naman pala kayo ni Sir Roy. Doble tuloy grade niya. Okay lang. Thesis na pala kayo. Sorry. Nakatapos lang magpasa ng lab report. Anong lab report to? Sorry, curious lang ako. Sino ang prof sa 112? Hindi ko alam. Hindi ko alam yung mga Si Ma'am Sarge bang 112? Ma'am Sarge ba? Okay. Si Ma'am Sarge. Ano ba to, Ma'am Sarge? Napahirapan kayo. Si 171, alam ko to. Sir Herbert. Tama ba? Tama ba? Okay. May paperworks pala kayo, no? Kay Sir Herbert. Amazing. Okay. Dahil pa naman pinapagawa si Ma'am Sarge. Sige na nga. At Thursday midnight, okay na ba yun? Kasi re-reveal ko na yung sagot sa ano. Re-reveal ko na sa sagot yung after class sa Friday yung ano. Yung problem set 3. Okay, sige. Madali lang naman yung ano, yung problem set 3. So sabayan niyo yung ano, sabayan yung example na huling ginawa ko. Okay? Ayun, sabayan niyo yun. Ganun lang din yung process niya. Probably yung ano, yung sa Monday, design experiment nyo na. Okay. Normal na araw lang. Ganun lang din, may lab lang din kayo. Gagawa kayo 3 hours tapos ayun, mag-grade na kayo. Okay, so ayun. Tapos ano no, pag i-lab natin, prepare niyo na yung mga ano, prepare niyo na yung isa nyong account na papasok para dun sa isang video camera para dun sa device nyo. Okay? Ano na? Kasi lagi ko naman titignan yan. Laging titignan yung circuit nyo, kaya prepare nyo na lang din. Okay, sige. Daming ano. So, extend ko yung wala tayong lab sa Thursday. Wala tayong lab sa Thursday. Monday na yung susunod. Okay. Sir, kailan po gagamit ng capacitors at transistors? Next week. Instruct ko kayo kung may ano, kung may additional materials. So, you just have to wait in the canvas kung ano yung announcement ko. Okay? Okay. Sige. Ayun, ayos. Daming tanong. Okay. Anything else? Anything else?